Hey Alpha Strikers, welcome back to the Joker's Wild review video, the Uncommons. So, first and foremost, we have the Red Hood. 70 points, number 17. He has Gotham City Underworld keyword.
That thing.
And Injustice Gang. New keyword, I haven't heard that one before. So, this guy, he is a range attacker off the bat. Running shot, precision strike with shape change, so defends himself there, does a pretty good job. I love precision strike, super sense is a thing. I hate Mike. He just rolls super sense all the time.
It's a thing.
It's a thing.
It's totally a thing.
He does take a pretty good hit though if he doesn't get the shape change roll. He doesn't have a 19 ESD, but if he gets base, which you want, he's clocked for 3, lands on that really awesome flurry poison with Battle Fury reflexes, so he's way better at that point. Him getting shot at, if they get outwitted, he might just take another shot to the face and just die, unfortunately. How to make him better? Pair him with guys who can like TK him around, keep him safe. I wish there's a way to give out stealth. There isn't a lot of outside things to give figure stealth I can think of. Mike, do you know of anything?
There's the One Ring. For you, those in the golden.
In the golden age, yeah, and of course the Bat Belt.
Dare pick up a relic on a 6.
But yeah, aside from that, not much there. I got nothing.
Not nothing?
Nothing.
Mm-hmm.
He's okay. Like I just think if he does some damage. He has 6 range. He's great for that. But I think 2 good clean cuts and he gets taken out. So that's his downside. He has no reducers at all. The whole dial. He's relying on that shape change. And if he doesn't hit it, he's gonna get clocked twice and just probably die.
So I've had a chance to play this guy.
You know him better than me.
That running shot precision strike 11 with energy shield deflection at a 17. Wow. I mean, I was shooting people for days and they didn't want to shoot me back, especially I'm standing hindering. Rocking 20 defense with shape change. Good luck shooting me back. But you're absolutely right. Glass jaw takes a hit, he's done. You better hope he's based, or when he goes to that second starting line click, he's as good as dead.
From the Jason Todd conversion, right? If you hit that.
Well, Jason Todd conversion, hopefully at that point you're based as well.
Yes.
Alright, up next, Harley Quinn, Uncommon, keywords, Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Sirens, Gotham City Underworld, number 18. She's pretty straightforward, real short dial. She's just going to be an amazing tie-up with Sidestep Poison and Shape Change and Super Sense. Yep. So she does get that in-cap Poison, her whole dial. Does drop into stealth on her second click with some close combat expert, but for 35 points and 3 clicks, she's just a really great tie-up. She does have the Batman enemy. This is how I deal with the bat, and you get to modify close attack by +1. So pair that with calculator. You got people running in or running out to get somebody else while she's tying up. But if you run into something like a black bat, she's as good as dead. No damage reducers, short dial. And overall, a one-hit wonder. Make her better. Pair her with other Batman enemy TAs. Give her, I wouldn't even waste the damage reducer on her, honestly. But yeah, just get her in there and get her doing what she does best, messing with things.
Yep, for sure. Alright, next up, we have the JSA man, Our Man.
Man of the Hour.
So this is Rex Tyler. He has Justice Society, Past, and Scientist. He has a simpler time trait. His allows for a use of probability control, but only if one of the attack roll dice has a 6. So it's a very specific prob on defense.
I'm going to specifically break your crit hit.
That's the hope. He also has a really cool speed power called Top of the Hour. You give him a power action when he's adjacent to a blocking terrain. When adjacent to blocking terrain and not holding an object, when you do, he gets to grab a light object for free. Just whoop. Light object, which in later turns he could either use for himself because he has super strength almost the whole dial, so he's doing at least 3 damage with the light object, which is kind of cool. He can carry heavies, only 25 points, that's pretty cool. Not ultra heavies though, no way. But you can also just drop them off for your friends too. He only has it for 2 clicks of his dial, so be aware he does have willpower, so he can get one and then drop one next turn. I like that about this dial, pretty cool. With end dial, Death Scream, regen, that's always nice. Make him better, JSA guys. Put him with any member of JSA with a 18 defense, he'll be fine or higher. Weaknesses, nothing to save him on the defense swing except for that JSA. He has no reducers, No shape change, no super senses, no nothing. You hit him for 5 clicks of damage, he's done. Wow, 5 clicks for 25 points. It's a bit of an investment, but yeah. I love the JSA dials, like all of them, because of that. Like, they have such a low point value with such a high dial. Like, they need investment to kill. It's crazy, right, Mike? Like, just who wants to blow a whole 5 damage on a 25-point figure? Like, how annoying could he possibly be? That's all I got for Hour Man.
All right, up next, Tattooed Man. Suicide Squad. Yep, he's one of your Suicide Squad guys. He does have the TA, so run him with that Amanda Waller we already covered.
Yep.
Make that come in handy. By the way, I did check that. It is every character on the board would get to do basically a regen roll if somebody dies.
Do they have to possess it, or can they just use it?
I'm still, the jury's still out on that one, but I do think they have to possess it.
Just because it has the printed symbol instead of can
Right.
use.
Right.
That's what we're thinking, guys. If you guys know anything different, please let us know in the
So,
comments
Tattooed
below.
Man, number 20. Special movement power. Each mark is a sin. He can use plasticity and stealth. And if he has an action token when he attacks, you modify his damage value by +1. So, plasticity, stealth, poison, shape change, and toughness. Wow. I'm going to hide here in stealth. I don't have any range, but if you base me, watch out. Because I
Poison
can
you and
run up to you and then push, because my second click's the same as my first, after I poisoned you one, and then I'm going to punch you for 3. Drops into stealth with blades, close combat expert, and exploit. I am not going to be afraid to push this guy. I'm just going to work him right up to you. You're stuck next to me from that plasticity. I push, and then, oh, look, here comes the Blades exploit, and then he drops back into stealth with regen and shape change, not to mention the Suicide Squad, the Squid Squad, team ability, which if I'm running with Amanda Waller, I'm not afraid to lose him because he's just going to heal everybody else. So, overall, I really think this is a really great figure. Only 60 points for 5 clicks of life. I mean, with that slew of powers, definitely keeping him alive. Stealth and combat reflexes is always good. Overall weaknesses, he has only got toughness for 2 turns, and if anybody's stealth busting you, you're as good as done. But yeah, always pair him with other Suicide Squad, and definitely that Amanda Waller. He's a great addition to a Suicide Squad team.
So off note, Mike, would you, in your opinion, agree that WizKids is designing dials to be more push friendly? Like they're kind of encouraging it?
Oh, absolutely. They've been doing that since the Civil War OP.
Yes, they did. I totally agree with that. I have noticed with the lack of willpower going around, they actually want you to think about your pushes, and then you can see your dial. Is it worth it? Yeah.
Or if you're looking
fine.
at close combat piece, look at the fact that you could run all the way up to somebody, take a hit, and then look where you end up. A lot of those Civil War figures ended up with Flurry, which basically gave you 2 attacks. So you ran all the way up there, and now you get to punch them twice. So
You're not wrong.
keep that in mind when you're looking at those figures. Look what it would be if maybe you took a hit or a push, and see where it puts you.
Yeah, you can count your dial now, guys. Thing you can do. So next up, we have the legendary Ra's al Ghul. So he is 140 big ones. That's a lot of points. But he has League of Assassin, Martial Artist, Past, and Ruler.
Great keywords.
All great keywords. He ignores hindering for movement purposes. Gotta love that. He has a trait called Lazarus Pit, which allows him to basically pick a square in the map. I think it has to be at least 6 squares from any starting area, and it's a Lazarus Pit. What it does is when the character occupies it, they may give that character a power action to roll a d6. When you do, heal the character equal to the result, so a full d6, no -2 regen roll, and remove Lazarus Pit from the game, and that character possesses Battle Fury for the rest of the game.
Roar! I've been brought back to life.
They are crazy, they are healed and ready to kill some people.
So don't use that on your ranged characters unless you're ready to them not shoot anything anymore.
Yes, I can't think of many characters off the top of my head who would be better not shooting when they have ranges of like 6+. There's a couple, but meh, I like range. Although shape change is the thing. You guys have to shape change? Do it.
That's true.
Alright, so he has a speed power and a damage power. They're pretty cool. First one gives him charge and flurry, so that's always great.
I always love charge.
I
and
love
flurry.
just get up there with the speed of 9, so 5 square charge, and then flurry you twice for 3 damage.
Note he also has Blade's Claws with his charge
12
flurry.
attack too, so that 3 is looking pretty. I'm just gonna roll because I feel good. And then his last ability, his damage ability, is Outwit, and a push creature within 6 squares can't use the Batman ally team ability.
I see you, Batman.
Which means, yeah, any Batman allies can no longer use stealth.
Nah, they can no longer use the Batman TA, which grants stealth.
Which gives them stealth. Thank you, Mike. So he's kind of a counter to those guys in a way, so that could be helpful if you have a bunch of other assassins who want to shoot but can't see through hindering terrain, because it really is a hard thing to do these days. They're giving out a lot less.
The stealth game is back, guys.
It's back in full swing. I've played several sealed games and stealth wins, dude. Stealth wins for days. So, this guy is meant to be an up-in-your-face kind of guy. I love him because he has Calculator and Batman Enemy, so you can give him keyword team abilities like Mystics if you want. I'm enjoying the new Underworld team ability where he can carry thugs around and stuff like that. So, if he had Mastermind, that'd be pretty freaking cool. He does start off with Willpower, Indom, with 18 defense, energy reflection, so he won't get shot at pretty easily. I mean, he's rocking 21 in the bushes.
You would think.
You would think, unless you're, other people who...
Outsiders.
No stealth. That's his biggest thing, is no stealth. If he had stealth, he'd be way, way better. But he rocks the 18, 17, the whole dial, 16 on the last one. Blades, almost the entire dial, with a little bit of running shot in the middle there. And then shape change on his last 2 of the 3 on his end dial. So, League of Assassins, guys, play him. You could play freaking Merlin with this guy.
Shiva.
Oh, Shiva.
That's a team.
That's a team.
With the ATA.
With the ATA, yeah. And then weaknesses, like, really, he gets clocked with an outwit and just can't save it. He has no reducers the whole dial. If he gets clocked too hard, you have to get to run to Ledger Pit. If you can't make it, he'll die in 2 shots.
So I've got
6 looks deep.
I've got to interject here. That 12 on top dial is tempting, but for 140 points, what's his attack go to if he takes 1 damage?
10.
That's right, poisoned. Bam, your 12 is now gone. You're on a 10, and it's not coming back. That 12 doesn't come back the whole dial.
He gets an 11 on click 3 randomly. So
but he doesn't get it back. So don't be lured in by the 140 points. Charge Flurry Blades Claws with 12 attack. It's not worth it. It's just not.
No. But yeah, 2 quick clips of 3 each. This guy's done. I think 140 points. I mean, even though he has good values, like, no figure of that many points should be killed in 2 hits. That's his one downside, in my opinion. Like, I almost want to play Batman with him to give him Batman ally.
So he can stealth.
He has stealth.
That wouldn't be such a bad idea. Actually, you could probably pair Robin with him.
Oh, there you go.
Which would almost be thematic if you're playing Jason Todd Robin.
You're not wrong. Or those Batgirls we just got. They all have it too. Except for Cassandra Cain. Or she has it, right?
Nope, she's got it.
She's got it. Alright. So yeah, that's my opinion on Ra's al Ghul.
Thought she did. Maybe she's going to get stuff. I don't know. Look into it.
Look into that. We'll make sure. But
yeah, so I would say pair him with Calculator. If he sits in the back and is handing out those 12s, woo.
Yes.
And then late game he just comes in and starts being the grand master of the League of Assassins that he can be and just mops up the team, could be worth it. As a primary lead-in attacker, unless you have a way to get him in there and out of there, don't bother. Do not bother.
It's just too much.
All right, up next, The Atom, number 22. All-Star.
Adam's so good.
All-Star Squadron, Justice Society, Past, and Ruler. Simpler time trait, grants +1 defense against close combat attacks. Pretty simple dial. It's got sidestep, combat reflexes, and close combat expert. But that opening click is no joke for 25 points. 3 damage with close combat expert and sidestep. Get him in there and punch him for 5. 10 and 5.
10 and 5 is fair.
Even better, 25 points. Call in.
That's a cheap call-in, guys.
Hey, Mystique, bring me in, and I'll sidestep and thump somebody for 5, and then you'll sidestep and move, and get away, and we're done. We're done here.
We're good, yeah.
I'm leaving. Bye.
Does he? What's his defense? Reflexes?
17 with reflexes. That's a 19 up close. Not to mention I'm tying somebody down for a minute. Just for a minute for 25 points. No big deal. This figure, in my opinion, is amazing. Again, very targeted, shallow dial, but for 25 points, being able to dish out 5 damage in a world where 2s and 3s are pretty well standard is amazing. Or you can even crank it up to a 12 and 3.
It depends on what you need, guys. If you're swinging at a 20, just get that 12 and just hope you hit him, because that can happen too.
Yeah, other than that, weaknesses usually comes down to these short dials. No damage reducers, nothing keeping alive. His 25 points, your opponent's going to have to waste 4 damage on to kill off. But, definitely great call-in. Pair him with other people, like I said, high mobility, get him in there, get him out of there, or get him in there and leave him there and be ready to lose him. And then, of course, always pair him with the JSA so you can take advantage of that simpler time trait.
And or wild cards. Spider-Man can copy JSA. And they wouldn't mind making friends with a few JSA guys. Alright. Next up, we have the Manhunter. This is the one with the just generic one. Doesn't have a name. Various. So he's generic. Has Cosmic and Robot. So that's pretty cool. 3 powers. Sidestep, Incapacitate, and Toughness. Does have 7 range, which is relatively uncommon for a 40-point figure.
Good range.
It's really good. He flies, too, so he carries. So, good transporter, guys. If you're in a sealed format and you got one of these guys, 40 points to carry people around and then shoot them for incapacitate with 11 attack.
Sidestep, 40 points.
I wish he had 2 bolts for that, to be honest. If he had 2 bolts, he'd be busted. It's not terrible.
45 points, maybe? 2 bolts?
Right? Something like that. So, yeah. Constructed-wise, I imagine you want to play these guys with a bunch of other robots. It's a robot army. Any team really, it just seems like Cosmic's is a hard theme team to build around. I guess they could be mains on a Cosmic team for certain people, but
He's Cosmic?
he's Cosmic,
Wow.
right? But I thought the Manhunters were the Green Lanterns at one point, or maybe not this version, but I remember reading that somewhere. They were in the Outsiders.
PD team too?
Oh yeah, and they're PG ability too. So yeah, if they can see you, minus your defense down. These guys are pretty good. I like them a lot. Honestly, put them with range pieces. Anyone who's got like a 9 range or so, just pair them up, give them that minus to their defenses, and just fire away like Deadshot. That should be. Oh, there you go. Make a robot team with Deadshot. He can be on the same team. There's plenty of robots out there.
But he'll be
80 points or
minus
higher.
ones because
Just find a big robot. There's so many robots
big
out
robot.
there.
Alloy.
Yeah. Batman Superman robot at 100 something points. Metallo. You're fine. So, yeah, their weaknesses though, honestly, toughness, the whole dial, it's not terrible. They gotta put, 4 penetrating damage into him. Maybe more, because he's reducing it all, if they don't have reducers or whatever, or penetrating damage. 9 attacks in the end, 2 damage the whole dial. I love robots. Robots always have good stats. I like them.
Alright. Up next, Technocrat, number 24, Outsider
geez,
Scientist.
dude.
2 really great keywords. And so he sees through elevated. Not hindering, but elevated. His special attack power, when he makes a ranged attack targeting a single character, increases damage value by 1 for every 2 squares he is away from the target. So
6 range?
yeah, 6 range.
Means total of 6 damage?
Yep, top dial 3. He's shooting you for 6 with 10 attack with running shot. So he's gonna zip in there, shoot you regardless of elevation, and blast you for 6. No need for enhancements. If you're hiding behind the elevation, you're not gonna get bonuses for PD team, but perplexes, they're a thing. And then later in his dial, the latter half, he gets give him a power action and choose Outwit or Perplex. He can use the chosen power until he uses his power again or until he takes damage. So activating that, unfortunately, he's got 9s right in the middle of his dial, and then drops to Earthbound on his last click.
Ooh.
His weakness is really, he's got toughness for a couple clicks and energy shield deflection, but if somebody bases him, he's losing all of that magnificent range ability, and he's gonna go down like a chump.
And that 10 attack is just so low, it seems like.
It seems, but at the top dial, you can boost attacks, so I really don't mind that so much, especially for a 6. I'll spend a Perplex on that. I'll spend a probability control to make sure I hit you for 6 damage. That, and I can Outsiders you afterward, because I ignore elevation from line of fire, so I can be like, I'm going to Outsiders you. The next turn, I'm going to try and shoot you again through that ESD hindering terrain that you had a 20 last turn, but now you've only got a 17. So he could really do some damage at range, but like I said, weaknesses up close, he's just going to go down. Make it better, pair him with that Batman enemy, or sorry, not Batman enemy, that Batman for 120 points.
Yes.
So Outsiders you, and then I Outwit you for 6 squares away, and then I can see you regardless elevation, so if you think you're going to run up to the edge or jump off the edge and come get me, you're going to sit right there for a second.
Just stay put.
But get him in, get him out. We've said it already. Give him some perplexes, make his attack higher, but make sure to keep him out of the fight. Keep him far away. Take advantage of that extra damage for as long as you can for 80 points.
Yeah, if you can slap willpower on him with like the Wrath Relic from the Sins, that's good too. He could use some willpower
or leadership. 80 points is not hard to leadership.
He is low points. That helps with leadership.
All right, what do you got?
Next up, we have Hawkman. So, number 25 has All-Star Squadron, Justice Society, Past and Warrior. This is Carter Hall. He has a simpler time thing for JSA. His gives people +1 to their defense against close attacks. So very similar to the Atom. So he has 2 powers, Charge and Toughness. These simple dials though. Only 30 points. And he has an 18 top load with that JSA. He's got the wings, so he's carrying you around. He's got the charge, so he's going to go after you with a 5-speed charge. With 11 attack, 3 damage. He never has below a 10 attack and 3 damage and 17 defense. Always has charge. I could never want a better transporter that can actually deal damage for a turn and then possibly die. I lost 30 points over it.
And he's an amazing call-in.
Right? The Hawkman ID card, guys, 30 points, anything could just about call this thing in. And he will club somebody.
A Manhunter can call him in. A 40-point Manhunter that we just covered.
Yep. These awesome JSA members, and they made those DC cards a lot more prevalent, I think, for sure. Weaknesses, he has just toughness. He takes, more than 3 damage and he's dying.
He's done.
Yep.
Short dial, get him in there, get him out of there.
Yep. He's going to be one of those guys where if you call him in with an ID card, expect to lose 35 points. But hopefully you hit your 11 attack, 3 damage, and club something dead or really hurt. That was your hope with this. And or carried somebody away. Well, they can only carry certain. That person called them in, but
I'm gonna lean back on it. Mystique. She can't normally attack, but hey, look, here comes Hawkman.
You keep bringing Mystique up,
and then she sidesteps away and he disappears. You've just saved yourself 35 points and dealt 3 damage, and they can't hit Mystique back. I'm just saying.
Fair. There you go, guys. For Magneto himself, Mystique will be much better with these cheap call-ins.
I dare say it'll see some meta, just because I could do a whole round table with 5-6 cards and just call in the JSA. I'm never taking an attack, so you can't shoot me back, and I'm sidestepping away if they charge or running shot in, and then they evaporate.
Or you could real boy him in too with the Quinjet, really cheap too. That's a cheap real boy right there. That's nothing.
There you go.
You can like call on an ID card, roll the dice, hit a 3, and then just real boy that sucker in the same turn.
There you go. All right, up next, Bronze Tiger, number 26, League of Assassins, Suicide Squad, and Martial Artists. Interesting crossover there between League of Assassins and the Suicide Squad. I like it.
Oh, he does go both. That's awesome.
Special movement power, which he has for his first 3 clicks. Charge, flurry, and sidestep. Talk about your mobility, and I love to see Charge and Flurry together. That's just amazing. Precision Strike, and then drops into Blades. I'm liking this guy. He's turning into a close combat monster. Pretty vanilla otherwise, but starts with Super Senses, goes to Willpower, and then Combat Reflexes, finishes off with Sidestep. Precision Strike, Blades Claws, for, here goes, 60 points. Wow. For Suicide Squad, I'm going to run him in there. I'm going to wreck you, and then I'm going to try and get him out of there before he dies. And if he does, I'm just going to heal the rest of my team.
I think he's one of the better close-up attackers. He does the most damage with the blades. So
printed 3 starting off, so that's Sidestep 2, Charge another 4, and then Flurry you with Precision Strike with 3 damage. So I'm doing anywhere from 2 to 6 on you for that. If I'm not empowered or perplexed. Hey, look. Dick Grayson Robin flies in, stands next to Empower. That's 4 and 4.
Zip line in, help you out.
Wow. Weaknesses, well, we've been saying it the whole thing. No damage reducers. You get past that Super Senses with the Precision Strike and club him for 5. He's done. 1 and done.
One thing I've seen about this set is like poison has become a lot more prevalent than it's ever been in its lifespan. Like, so many figures in this set and some of the past sets have just been lacking those reducers. So like the 50-point Joker and the rare set we'll get to later, he can multiple poison people. Sheesh. Yeah.
But he drops to a 9 attack on his last 2 clicks. So after he takes one, you've got sidestep to try and get yourself out of there. But his only defense is close combat, so you really don't want to break that base to get shot at. So when you see those sidestep for his movement power, he's well done. Unless you can get him out of there somehow. Making him better, Suicide Squad, give him somebody to get him in and or out of there. A little bit of Empower to boost your damage with that flurry, and probability control to make sure you hit those rolls.
So one problem with Suicide Squad, they don't have a whole lot of transporter pieces.
Well, they're supposed to go in and die. That's a suicide mission thing.
You're not wrong. All right, next up we have Robin. This is Jason Todd Robin, who goes with the Red Hood we talked about earlier. So this one has a trait called 1-900 Live or Die. Just like the old comics where he actually was voted on to live or die. So when he would be KO'd, which I love those words, would be KO'd, both players roll 2d6, and if your result is higher than your opponent's, you may replace Robin with the number 17 Red Hood on the orange starting line with 1 action token. And that's where he gets that 4-speed, flurry, poison, battle fury, and I think super senses.
So that's going to give you 3 more clicks if you beat your opponent in just a 2d6 roll.
He does, because he has 5 clicks of life, and then he gets the additional 3 from the Red Hood. So that's a pretty big gamble, but honestly, for 70 points, that's 70 points too.
You're not losing anything.
You're not losing and or gaining anything, but just 3 clicks. And who knows, you could roll really well. The one thing about this Robin is really, really cool, his dial is wild. Since he was always considered like the most wild card of Robins for Batman, it kind of makes sense. So he has Charge, Smoke Cloud, Super Senses, and Outwit. With 4 range and 2 bolts.
A really interesting mixture. And he has Batman TA.
Yes, Batman TA as well.
Good close combat, decent range, Smoke Cloud for my other Batman friendlies, yes. And Outwit you as long as I'm standing here.
He does have it on 2 clicks, 1st and 4th. Dies on 5 or 6, so 5 damage to KO. No reducers, once again, just Super Senses, Reflexes, and Willpower. Those colors are very, very popular in this set.
But when you have stealth and combat reflexes, again, no stealth busting, they're going to base you. You got +2 to your defense. You're looking at about a 19.
18 on those 2 clicks.
So, I mean, that's some pretty good survivability there. And he's not too shabby when it comes to close combat. So.
No, he's got 10s and 9s, which is fair for a Robin. I respect this one quite a bit.
And note he's got that leap climb, so if he's based and you really want to get him out there, +2 to your breakaways.
He has a close combat expert on most of his dials, too. So.
Ooh. Maybe I do want to be next to you because I'm going to punch you really hard.
Yeah, so he can go to 11-3 or a 10-4. And he has that 4 range, so he can shoot with 2 bolts. I wish he would have had Incapacitate, but he's not like Dick Grayson. He's trying to really hurt you. So, I think it was a good dial design. He ignores Elevated, by the way, for movement purposes. So that's really cool. He gets around. Yeah, that's about it for Robin.
All right, up next, Vicky Vale, number 28, Gotham City reporter. Kind of tells a real story about her. The world needs to know your comment. At the beginning of your turn, you may choose an opposing character within 4 squares and line of fire. Until your next turn, that character's combat values can't be replaced, can't be modified to be higher than, and can't be modified to be higher than its printed value.
So like a Super Outsiders at 4 range? Because it can't be replaced.
Right.
That's good.
And can't be modified to be higher than its printed value. I don't know. I am pretty sure the intention was to make it so you couldn't do charge and running shot, but that could really blow up in your face, because if I can't replace my value when I'm running shot, I'm running shotting a full distance.
That doesn't seem like it's right. Because you can't do it to a friendly character, so it would be useless. Is any character or opposing character? It's opposing character.
It's opposing character. I think because there's not a period in there, I think it's their combat values can't be replaced to be higher than its print values. So I know we're gonna have to put a question into the forum on
that one,
because I mean, yeah, they can't be replaced, but then I just made your charge and your running shot go.
Is it only to the end of your turn or until your next turn?
Until my next turn.
Yeah, we'll have to look into that one, guys. We'll put a question out and see, but that's crazy if that's...
But overall, that power aside, she's stealth 25 points, willpower, which is good. I recommend pushing her onto her second click. She becomes stealth, willpower, and probability control. We've got 25-point prob right here, hiding in the shadows. Willpower to move around and get to the next shadows, and just propping away for 6 squares. I used her in our second sealed, and she was an amazing probability controller. For 25 points, she's almost my go-to prob with an activation click. But those of you in the Golden Circuit, have Blind Owl kick her out.
Blind Owl kick her
Boot.
out. Hey, Frogman can do it too.
Yep.
Bump her into a wall.
Short dial, but I mean, what do you expect for 25-point average person? You know, that trait, the world needs to know your comment, could be good, could be bad.
It seems to be mostly made for like the JSA, so they couldn't replace and then
Replace
modifier.
defense values.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, just throw her on your team if you got 25 points to spare and you need a probability controller, because she'll do that job and she'll do it well, and your opponent will have to waste at least 2 damage to kill her if you pushed her to that. So,
Speaking of prob control, we have the next figure on our team, Calculator. He is only 50 points. He has Batman Enemy and Calculator. Team ability. Huh, go figure.
I think that would be a total tragedy if you didn't have that.
It would be. It totally would be, actually. People would be up in arms. Like, alright. So he has a trait and a damage power that he has for the first 2 clicks of his life. The trait is called Criminal Contacts, where Calculator and friendly characters within 8 squares are considered to be adjacent for uses of the Batman Enemy team ability. That means you can share anywhere on the board 8 squares away from him and the characters. Really good.
Shiva.
Shiva.
We'll get to her later. 50 points, 12 attack, handed out. +1s to your combat, close combat attacks to your whole team.
Ra's al Ghul. 140 points. Tap his around if you're so willing to play Ra's al Ghul.
For 140
points. His other thing is his damage ability, which he has in the first 2 clicks, which I said before. High-level predictions. Calculator can use probability control, but only to hurt an opposing character with the highest point value regardless of line of fire.
One person, regardless of line of fire, within, what's his range, 6?
6.
Yep. So, keep that in mind. It's just one person, and it has to be the highest point figure.
Within 6 squares.
Within 6 squares.
Because it's not regardless of range.
Yep.
So, that's pretty cool. This guy, you pair him with as many Batman ally, Batman enemy, and wild cards you can find in your collection. Because if you have the ability to pass around that,
12, 13.
13, 11, 10s, whatever, if you're going to push around, just get those attacks around. And what's really cool is you can daisy chain Batman, like how I deal with the Bat trait. You can say, I picked this one, who he's borrowing that one, who's borrowing that one, who wants this one, I want this attack. It's really crazy.
Complicated.
Yeah, but you can also, you can always pick what you want when you need it. So that's why he's looking for 50 points. Not as good as I think as the Fast Forces Kingpin, because that one actually had the keyword for the Sinister Syndicate, whereas all he has is Society. They didn't want Batman enemy theme teams with like Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Underworld, because let's face it, guys. Sharing 12s and have theme team props? Buh. Short dial.
Stuff.
Takes 4. Dead. Does have outwit in the last 2 clicks though, so if he does get clucked for a little bit, maybe keep him alive, lose your prop, but have outwit. And he only has 9s and 8s, so he happily borrows any attack value.
Alright, up next, Two-Face, number 030, number 30, Arkham Asylum, Gotham City Underworld. This Two-Face is ridiculous. I'm going to come out and say it. He's absolutely ridiculous.
You are so salty about that game.
So, a change will do me good. His trait. Give him a free action to heal him 1 click and roll a d6. On a result of 4 through 6, turn him to the same click number on a different color. Now, it has been officially ruled in the WizKids forums that if you cannot heal him, you cannot activate this trait. So, no more being on your top dial saying, hey, 18 defend with Perplex isn't doing me so good right now, so I'm going to change over. Nope. You cannot heal 1 click, so you have to be hit first before you can jump to the other side. Secondary trait. Of course, he has 2 traits.
Two-Face. Big 2 guy, this guy.
He can use probability control regardless of range and line of fire, comma, note comma, but only for attack rolls and only if the die roll is one of the dice is a 2. So very specific probability control there. You can't just prob because you feel like it has to include a 2 in the roll, and it has to be an attack roll.
But think how many numbers that just messes with. 6 and 2 is 8, 5 and 2 is 7, 4 and 2 is 6. I mean, heck, that's even your rolls on a 2 and a 2. You could re-roll because you rolled a 2 and a 1 even. That's
And it's
so good. It's not even opposing,
and
is it?
it's the whole roll. It says if one of the dice is a 2. But remember, it's attack rolls only, so you can't re-roll your super senses or shape change or your impervious or your blades or your plasticity.
Golden Age relic rolls.
None of that. No. You can't re-roll.
I know. I thought at one point you could, but I can't remember.
Anyway, so his special attack power on his two-face side of his dial is he can use energy explosion with 2 bolts, and hit characters modify their combat values by -1 until your next turn. So I don't understand how you get
shotgun.
a double barrel shotgun can go in 2 different directions doing energy explosion, unless it's 1 and 2. But wait, that's 2 attack rolls. Maybe he's got 2 double barreled shotguns because he's two-faced.
He's two-faced.
But I don't know, if you play him right, if your opponent doesn't just down him in one go, you can spend 3, 4, maybe 5 turns just heal him up, switch him, heal him up, switch him, heal him up, switch him. I've seen this guy come back from the dead. Last click, back to full dial. Two-Face is not immortal. It doesn't work that way, but he does actually work that way.
That 18 defense, though, right? With Perplex.
Oh, he's a great support piece with sidestep and defend 18 with Perplex starting out. He takes push him and then heal him to turn him into Two-Face to give him running shot with 11 damage with energy explosion, 2 bolts. And
minus
17
defenses when they hit.
Yeah, minus their defense by 1. He's also got Batman enemy TA, so you can be passing around that 11 to everybody else. Or if you're on the Two-Face side, you can be borrowing 11s.
Yeah,
from anybody else.
and giving out 18 defenses with the defense. So.
I know, right?
Doesn't have a downside, this guy. He's pretty solid.
Really not, no. Well, as far as downsides go, no damage reducers. He can effectively be 1, maybe 2-shotted, and he's done. So that's 65 points of investment into nothingness. Make him better. Just pair him with other Batman enemies, possibly Calculator, and just decide whether you want to be, Harvey Dent or Two-Face, which side of the coin you want to be on. I'm going to do a little bit of criticism here. I wish they would have had us actually flip a coin. I know a coin is not standard equipment for HeroClix. And a 4-5-6 is essentially the same thing as a 50-50 chance. But I've got the Two-Face coin from the Two-Face from Batman where I cut the little tab off so it's got good heads and bad heads.
Nice.
I guarantee you, when I play him, I'm flipping that coin. It's a 50-50 shot either way. I'm going to go good heads, bad heads.
You'll, of course, ask your opponent first if that's okay, right?
No, I'm just going to... No, I will ask. But I think that would just be incredibly thematic. It would have been nice if, Clicks FX, they just
oh my gosh,
gave you the coin. Just, there you go. Have it. Enjoy it.
That's really easy, too, because it's been like the plastic base part with nothing on it.
Yeah.
And they could have just...
Fantastic.
Interesting. But they don't give Clicks FX bases to uncommons and commons.
Sure.
I wish they did, though. Hey, WizKids.
It's...
Make one for me.
It's not cost effective. It's just not.
Alright. So my final edition...
I mean, think about it. You get 3 Clicks FX bases in one pack. Because you can get 2 uncommons and a rare, and they could all have a Clicks FX base.
I'm not saying give it to all of the uncommons. Maybe 1.
But if you had 2 uncommons in the set, both had a Clicks FX base, and rares, you could get 3 Clicks FX bases in one pack.
You know what that would do, though? That'd make the weight distribution weird, so you never know what the good stuff was, because you could possibly pull uncommon Clicks FX bases. I'm just saying, it couldn't be bad for their pack-wise.
It's all about the money, guys.
But it is the money.
Follow that money trail. All right, anyway, digressing.
Sorry about the rant, guys. It's funny, though, right? Things like that. Let us know in the comments below. Cobra. So, this guy's cool. Strike Force Cobra. Ruler. Scientist. Good keywords. He's got 2 abilities. 1 on the defense, 1 on the damage. Does have willpower with Indomitable. 60 points with the Underworld team ability, so we can carry those guys who have that team ability.
The Cobras.
The Cobras.
The Thugs.
What are they called? They're called Cobra...
Cobra Fanatics.
Fanatics.
The crazy ones.
The crazy ones. Alright, so his defense power gives him toughness and mastermind. He does KO on click 6, so that's pretty good. Has some staying power with the Cobra Fanatics and his own toughness, which helps. His damage power gives him this really neat leadership. So it's leadership, and then give him a power action to choose up to 2 adjacent friendly characters with a Strike Force Cobra keyword.
Very specific keyword.
Very specific keyword. And give Cobra and each chosen character a move action as a free action. So you took one of your possibly 3 to 4 actions on a 400 point team to move 3 figures for 1 action.
They're just slithering up on you, those Cobras.
They're just getting up there. They usually only have like 8 or 9 speed, but that's still enough to get into position. I think they have 8, he has 9. So that's 9, 8, 8. And if you really want to, it's a move action. They can carry other Cobra Fanatics. What? So you could easily get 4 Cobra Fanatics and Cobra in a good position on the middle of the board somewhere.
You forgot, he can carry 2. So that's a total of
6?
7.
7?
2 and 2, and then 2 for him. So plus himself. So that's
7.
6 Fanatics and 1 Cobra. That's 7 guys.
So he is 60 points, plus that's 120 points, right? That's a lot of Blades, Claws, Fangs. Oh, man.
Oh.
You want a blender team. Just set that up just right. So that's his big thingamadoo. He does have mind control with precision strike and 16 defense. His downfall is definitely that 16 defense the whole time.
Needs mastermind. If you expect us to carry around all those Fanatics and bring them into play, give us something to keep them alive.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, mastermind's gonna be best friend. That'll keep him alive. Toughness will too, I suppose. But does have regen on left click, poison in the middle with exploit weakness. He and the Fanatics will do damage, guys. It's a bit of a tricky play, moving around like 7 figures on a team. But imagine the amount of damage you could deal to 1 figure at a time. And leadership gives you 4 actions on a 300 point team. And that's still only not even half your team.
Blades, blades, blades.
So that's his thing. He does just get hit without master. If he has no buddies around, if you whittle all of the Cobra Fanatics around, he does just die after that. But not too bad as a Strike Force Cobra leader.
Alright, last but most certainly not least, we have Merlin 032, Injustice League, League of Assassins, Star City, Assassin, Martial Artist. Trait, duck and cover. When he has more than 1 action tokens, 1 or more action tokens, excuse me, he can use stealth. So if you're tokened up, you can't see me.
I like that.
Ignores hindering for movement purposes, so hey, I'm going to hide. He's got 7 range with 2 bolts. And then his defensive power, which he has for his first 3 clicks,
Nuts.
he can use combat reflexes. So I'm hiding his stealth. I've got +2 to my defense. If you're going to base me, that's an 18. When he would be hit by a range attack, so if I'm not hiding in stealth, I can roll a d6, excuse me, 2d6, and compare it to my opponent's 2d6, so we both roll. And if my result is higher than... Oh, no, I'm sorry. So you attack. I roll 2d6. If my roll is higher than your unmodified attack roll, the attack is evaded.
Now, Precision Strike gets through that because of the word
It does,
evade.
Yep, it would. So I cannot evade a Precision Strike attack. But if you know your opponent doesn't roll much higher than a, 6 on average? 7?
Hey, watch it.
And you normally roll, well, I don't know, 8s or 9s. That's where it's at. I played him against Eric, and we did that, 3 times? He tried to shoot me a dead shot. Nope. Tried to shoot me a dead shot. Nope. Tried to shoot me with red flag. Nope. It was
not
awesome.
fun.
So he drops down into really a close combat because he picks up Flurry and then Blades with Shape Change and Willpower. So you're really looking to play a range game with him and then hope that he's getting based. People get tired of you shooting, and then they just come up and get you.
That's what happened to me. I had to just get up again and punch him in the face. I was sick of that rolling contest.
And then I dropped into Flurry with Blades and Willpower and Shape Change. He's also got the Underworld team ability, so he can carry some thugs with him. Does not ignore character bases for Line of Fire, so I don't know what they were thinking there, but maybe we'll see some Underworld TAs. They're worth it.
It's been sprouting a lot more recently.
He is 80 points and definitely an amazing range combat piece, but you are banking a lot on dice when it comes to evading those attacks and rolling your shape change, making those initial attacks with precision strike and running shot with 7 range and 2 bolts. But
it's good range. It's a really good.
You know, he's been really good. Weaknesses, you know, we've been saying this pretty much this whole set. No damage reducers. If they get a better roll than you, he's taking it to the face and he's going close combat,
which makes him much worse.
But make him better. Give him some enhancement. Give him some way to bust stealth. Put PD team next to him, and just watch him wreck.
Yes,
just wreck, totally wreck.
All right, guys, and that concludes the uncommon review of Joker's Wild. Please let us know how we did. Oh, and we did forget one figure.
Oh,
Manhunter Prime, who eluded us.
Glazed right over him. I do have some notes on him. So little bonus here. Even though we don't have the card, sorry, I can't show that to you. We don't have the figure. We thought we knew somebody who pulled one, but apparently he did not, even though I remembered seeing him. Let's see, where are my notes here? Manhunter Prime. He can bust stealth, so he sees through hindering, and he grants an attack boost when he's, or gets an attack boost when he's a bounty hunter, or you can do a double-edged defend, so you can defend yourself as well as your opponents, unless he's the one attacking them, so he's a public defender at that point.
Nice.
And then I've got a note here about swapping figures for 74 points or less. I believe he has something that allows him to move people around if there are less points than he is.
That does sound familiar.
Look into them, and if you guys feel that you want to review them in the comments and put it out there for everybody,
we really
please
appreciate that.
That'd be really great.
So, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell us how we're doing. And we'll see you guys in the next video.
And remember,
strike first
and strike hard.